Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we are getting spooky with the Nomad Ghost Town USA palette. I'm going to give a little overview of this palette. We're going to talk all about it, and we're going to create this look. Without further ado, girl, let's get into this makeup and have some fun. Alright guys, let's dive in with our kind of first impressions, mini kind of quick overview of the Nomad Cosmetics Ghost Town USA palette. Look at this fun little flip here. Pew, 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 pew. Very cool, huh? I love it. I'm just mesmerized by that. But what we have here is an 18 shade palette in these super duper murky weird colors that I am all over. Look at this. Oh, they've got like a shift in them. Very, very pretty palette. So yeah, this is what the component looks like. Very nice, very sturdy, very high quality feeling. Even though it's cardboard, but it's not cheap feeling at all. It feels very refined. Like everything about it is just very finished and pretty looking. You have a really legit good mirror in here, decent pan sizes, and 18 shades. And the price point for this palette is $49, and you can use a discount code on it. I think there's a discount called Ghost Town, all caps, and you can get 15% off. But yeah, you can use that discount code. I used it and got it down to $46 with tax and shipping, so pretty cool. So first thing, let's go through some of the details, the description of this palette, because there's a lot to talk about here. And while I do this, I am going to show some pictures and b-roll of the palette on the screen so you can get a good look at it, because it's so pretty, and those gorgeous inlays, embossing on the pans. Very, very cool. Explore, if you will, the decaying ghost towns of the Old West. 18 shadows and gritty hues and precious metal highlights. Formulated with extra fine pigments for silver smooth feel and platinum rich payoff. 9 cool as sterling mattes and 9 glitzy as gold shimmers inspired by the haunted ghost towns of the American Wild West. Infused with prickly pear cactus seed oil to help keep the colors fresh no matter what dusty town you ride into. Cruelty-free and vegan, intense color payoff, 4 times finer pigments, pure source ingredients. I don't know what pure source is. I kind of want to look into that. It's a pure source TM. No parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, no talc, no gluten. Gold and Grit, a collection of 18 shades featuring cool tone mattes and gritty greens, broken down browns, dusty blues paired with precious metal shimmers, and copper, garnet, bronze, and silver. New soft to the touch formula, which it does have a new formula. It's very reminiscent of a Natasha Denona. If you've ever felt some of her softer shimmers and metallics, they have kind of almost like a color pop feel to them. There's a creaminess to them. The shimmers in this palette feel very similar to the Natasha Denona formula that is within the new Yucca palette. Very similar type of formula and look and swatch. So we'll see how it performs on the eye. But just looking at the palette and swatching it, it's very close to Natasha Denona quality. Another really neat thing about this palette is that it is in partnership or with the Nomad Giving Program. It is working with the Birds of Prey at the Peregrine Fund. I don't know if it's Peregrine or Peregrine. We're just going to say Peregrine Fund. But it's working with the Birds of Prey at the Peregrine Fund. The Peregrine Fund has been conserving all birds of prey worldwide since 1970 and work to prevent extinction, protect habitats, engage people, and address threats to raptor populations and their ecosystem. Nomad is proud to support the Peregrine Fund with the launch of Ghost Town and help protect endangered raptors like condors, vultures, eagles, and hawks of the American Southwest. So I think it's a really cool idea to do a fund, or to work with a fund like that with a palette that is themed around like Wild West, Ghost Town type of thing. Because what do you think of? What do you think of any wildlife with the Wild West? Vultures, condors, eagles, all that kind of stuff comes to mind. And yeah, I think that's a very cool idea to partner that with this palette. And another thing that really sold me on this palette, not only the color story being absolutely phenomenal, my friend Claire had picked it up, and I was aware of this palette and thought it was cool looking, but I hadn't like zoned in on it. And she sent me the picture of the palette when she bought it, and I was like, oh, that looks really pretty. And she said the formula is really good too. So I was like, And I went and did a little digging, looking at the website a little more and seeing the colors, and I was like, these are my kind of colors. These are these weird, murky, almost desaturated in a way, off the beaten path kind of weird shades that I love. And I was very excited about that. So yeah, the mattes in here are just really unique, odd shades for the most part, but very wearable shades. And then you also have some nice kind of, you know, normal browns as well to kind of ground a look. And you have some amazing shimmer shades in here. They are beautiful. Just the overall theme of this being Ghost Town, Wild West, really spoke to me. When I saw the theme and got a really good look at it, I was like, oh, yeah, this might just really be a palette for me, because I love Wild West stuff. I love spooky Western stuff, like spooky Wild West. That is my favorite thing. Like the whole, was it like, American Southwest Gothic. I love that vibe. And just the kind of goth cowboy aesthetic is one of my favorite things. And it's kind of one of the ways I kind of like to dress and style myself as well. I tend to wear a little bit of Western flair in a lot of my outfit choices. I love a Western belt. I love cowboy boots, but I like everything to be black and little pops of gold here and there. Very subtle, monochromatic, kind of nothing flashy. I like to look like a villain in a Western, basically. So, I mean, a spooky Western palette? Are you kidding me? I don't think it would have mattered what colors were in here. I might would have picked it up. And I'm just gonna talk through the descriptions of the shades. First, we have Tombstone, Metallic Soft Bronze, Undead Sheriff, Matte Gritty Mauve, Quicksilver, Metallic Polished Silver, Skinner's Saloon, Matte Dusty Blue, Gold Rush, Metallic Golden Ore, Ghost Town, Matte Sage Brush, Copper Penny, Metallic Antique Copper, Bandit Queen, Matte Whiskey Brown, Rhyolite Nevada, Metallic Rose Gold, Calamity Jane, Matte Blue Pine, Calico California, Metallic Green Gold, Stagecoach Mary, Garnet Montana, Metallic Rich Garnet, Deadwood, Matte Dead Tree Brown, Ghost Town, Metallic Purple Fluorite, Dead Man's Hand, Matte Past Midnight Blue, Smoky Quartz, Metallic Smoky Quartz, and Arrested Decay, Matte Charred Timber. So yeah, the feel of this formula is phenomenal. It feels like a Natasha Denona formula. It feels very luxe, very expensive. This is a formula that is more intense than their previous ones. It is 4 times finer pigments, supposed to have more payoff. So yeah, I'm very excited to dive in. So let's do so now and create a look here. I'm going to do eyes first because I don't know the fallout situation. Don't know how it's going to play on the eyes. Oh, there's a really cool blurb on here as well. Along the desolate, unforgiving frontier rests an abandoned mining town of America's Wild West. These settlements, once bustling with gunslingers, gamblers, gold diggers, still lay intact hundreds of years later, after fortunes dried up and residents disappeared. Stop if you dare to explore these decaying towns and experience their spine-chilling happenings. Sounds of clanging metal and empty mines, a rush of cold air on a warm, windless night, and the unexplained sightings in vacant hotels make you realize that perhaps Ghost Town isn't completely deserted after all, and that some of the inhabitants are still there. Very cool. I've got a lot to say about Wild West stuff, so let's go ahead and get this look started. I'm going to begin by priming my eyes as per usual. I'm going to prime my eyes with the NYX Ultimate Eyeshadow Primer here. A good little go-to primer for me. It's very across the board good primer. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer over the lids just to blank out any discoloration, because I do have a little bit of discoloration. I'm just going to do a small amount, nothing crazy. I'm going to use my L'Oreal concealer for this. the L'Oreal Eye Cream and Concealer. I just do a light amount, just enough to even everything out so it doesn't, so none of my freckles make the eyeshadow look patchy, because I have very freckly eyelids with some discoloration. It can kind of make things look unblended sometimes. And I'm gonna dust just a touch of translucent powder across the lids as well. This is my usual process. It just helps things blend and kind of sets down everything, my base, because I do get some creasing normally on my lids. I have fairly oily eyelids. I think I'm gonna go with the blues because I don't use blue very often. I think it might be fun to just kind of dive into something that I don't mess with too terribly often. So yeah, let's do something focused around these blue shades and create something very murky. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Undead Sheriff and use that as kind of a transition lightly. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on the brush. I don't know how it's gonna, as far as like payoff goes or anything, so I'm just gonna take a little bit on the brush, a fluffy brush, and just start to ease that through the socket. Now this is described as a mauve shade, I believe. Undead Sheriff is a matte gritty mauve. So I think that color would work really nicely with this. It's kind of got a little bit of like a purple grayishness to it. Very nice. Yep. That's flowing on very easily. It's been so long since I've used any eyeshadows from Nomad. I mean years. This so far. It's looking really good. It's a really nice shadowy color. Like it's almost got like kind of a contour to it, like a contour shade. Very good for creating a little bit of structure. And I feel like you could definitely build that up and get more out of it. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna go to a bit more of a controlled brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of Calamity Jane, which is described as matte blue pine. And we take that on a detail blending. Definitely pick up a good bit of pigment. So I'm gonna tap that off. I'm gonna tuck it right here. Oh yeah, very nice. That's a cool color. Alright, I'm gonna let that kind of come up into the crease just a little bit. And do an upward outward blending. That looks cool. I like that. Yeah, speaking of abandoned mines, have you guys ever seen that video? I think it went viral like, I mean years and years and years ago, of one of those urban explorer type videos, but they're exploring an abandoned mine, and there's like a radio starts playing down deep in the mine. The chain starts swinging in it. There's like this weird fog. The dude is scared to death. I don't know if it's real or not, but it scared the crap out of me when I saw it, and I was like, oh, nope, I ain't messing with no abandoned mines. To me, that is a pretty scary scenario. But I have always wanted to visit one of these ghost towns and like just kind of tour across the Southwest. I would love to do that. Like I'd love to visit like parts of Arizona, like Sedona. I think looks so beautiful. But I would like to go to some of these more abandoned, kind of old, timey looking towns that are they're pretty touristy, some of them. I would love to check those out and just explore and walk around. I've always wanted to do that. Maybe one day I will. In the winter. Definitely not going to do that in the summer. Oh, hell no. I'm going to build up this blue a little bit. These colors seem to be building really well. Very easy to work with so far. And blues are usually not the easiest color to work with. But so far, so good. Everything is flowing nicely. That's a very unique shade because it has a bit of like a teal in it. I like that kind of blue for eyeshadows. I'm going to go in with the blue. It tends to have that kind of color or tone to it. Ah, yes. Very satisfying. It's a good mirror in this palette, by the way. Yeah, that is blending beautifully. Like looking up close at it, a very nice kind of hazy blend. Just right. Okay, I'm gonna take a touch of Skinner Saloon now, which is the lighter of the blues. It is a matte dusty blue. We're gonna take just a little bit of that just above. Could tuck that in there. That's looking really cool, kind of layered over Undead Sheriff. Definitely creating a nice spooky color. Yeah, it's creating a nice purpley tone mixed with that other one. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a smaller, we'll use this little detail brush. I'm going to go into Dead Man's Hand, which is the matte Past Midnight blue. Spooky. I'm going to tuck that on the outer corner, kind of at the lash line. I'm going to come up and just tuck it right in there. I cannot wait to dive into the greens in this palette, but I wanted to step out my comfort zone today and use the blues. It's not something I do very often. There, create just a little wedge shape with that color. Very pigmented. Again, easy to work with. No complaints there. And it doesn't appear to be, I'm getting a ton of fallout from the mattes, so that's nice. Take a little bit more of Calamity Jane. And tuck that right over, right next to that. Nice intensity. Go back to my little blending brush. Everything is soft. I'm going to take some more of Undead Sheriff just to give that something to really blend into. I like with this palette you're getting a mix of some kind of off the beaten path shades, but you're also getting some very wearable, easy to use shades. But everything overwhelming kind of has a cool feel except for some of the shimmers, which I think can be a really beautiful contrast. To have a metallic warm shimmer paired with a cool grounding color. It can look really cool mixing the cools and warms in a look. Now for a shimmer shade. Now let's use a little flat brush here. And I want to take the shade called a Ghost Train, which is described as metallic purple fluorite. And this is one of the shifty shades. It has about like a fuchsia to a greenish kind of shift in it. Very interesting color. I'm going to try to pick that up on a brush first. Just a dry brush. And apply. Ooh. Look at that. That is cool. Oh, yes. Very cool looking. It's like glowing. I like that it has the strong fuchsia flip in it. Or purple flip. Let me take that across the lid. And that applied really well with just a brush by itself. Let's see what happens if I go in with a finger over top. And these really do feel like creamy formula. Yeah, this is like a greenish shift in there, like a slight kind of interesting shift mixed in here. Ooh. Uh-oh. Look at that. Would you look at that? Wow. That is stunning. That's beautiful. That's such a pretty purple. And I just love the way this formula feels. It is buttery soft. And it's definitely versatile. You can get kind of a sheer wash or you can build it up depending on your application method. I'm just going to do like a little bit of a cut. Soft kind of flow of this across and let it flow into the blues. It looks really neat. I like that it looks going into the blue. Alright, soften that out. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Just gonna give everything a nice little blend. Really nice shift going on there. Very cool. Alright, let's take a little bit of Rhyolite, Nevada, which is described as metallic rose gold. To me, it looks a little bit more like a pinky champagne. We'll see. I'm gonna put that on the center. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty little shiny pop there. That looks nice. I like that. Very cool. Bring in a little bit more of our Ghost Train. Alright, let's take a little bit of Quicksilver and put down the inner corner. Quicksilver is, I think, metallic silver. Yeah, metallic polished silver. It has a bit of a blue in it, to me, in appearance. Up a little bit right there. That looks cool. It's kind of tiny with the blue shades well. Yeah, everything looks so like multi-dimensional. Much fun. Alright, I'm softening the edges up. Okay, and I'm gonna take a liner brush and we're gonna use Dead Man's Hand and kind of run that the lash line, upper lash line. This might work. It's a little angled brush. It's a little liner brush. You can do like a little bit of a wing shape there. I think this is looking pretty cool. And just the way the colors are changing when I move the shimmers, I think that looks really neat. I'll grab a bit more of Undead Sheriff. Just really make sure that's right here. Okay, I like the way this looks. I'm going to clean up the tiny bit of blue fallout I have. Just a little bit, and that was probably just more me than it was the palette because I'm messy. I am messy when I do my eyeshadow. That's why I do my eyes first. So let me just tidy that up real quick. I'm going to put on my face makeup and we'll be back to do the lower lash line and some finishing touches and some thoughts. See you in just a minute. Okay, and we're back. I just finished up the rest of the face and blush, lipstick, all that thing, the final touches. We just gotta do the lower lash line. But real quickly, I'll tell you what I used for blush. I used the Milani Cheek Kiss and Nude Kiss. And on the lips, I used NYX Liquid Suede and Soft Spoken. I feel like that color would pair really well with this eye. And yeah, it was really easy to clean up the fallout, not a big deal. I think everything is looking pretty good so far. I'll list and link everything that I used on my face down below. But the highlights are the Nude Kiss from Milani and Soft Spoken from NYX. But yeah, all the products will be listed and linked down below. And they are affiliate links. Let's go ahead and get this lower lash line done. Where's that little... I'm gonna grab that little small detail brush. And I think I'm gonna go straight into some of Undead Sheriff and pull that along under here. I'm going to take a little bit of Calamity Jane, same brush, just small amounts. I'm going to tuck it right at the outer corner and let it flow up into the upper lid, into a little wing. Alright, I'm going to take some of Dead Man's Hand. Just right out there. And a bit of Skinner Saloon. Just right at the edge. Right here. Alright, taking a fluffy brush and just softening everything out. Alright, and I'm going to take a large fluffy brush and a bit of Undead Sheriff. And so just really make everything very blended feeling. And soft. Okay, everything's very nice and diffused and smoky and spooky looking. Across the lower lash line, let's take a bit of Quicksilver. Right here. And then I'm gonna let that fade into Ghost Train. I'm gonna throw in a little mascara now that we have the eyeshadow all done. And yeah, right, mascara is on. And you know what? I think would really just be a cherry on top, a little bit of eyeliner. I have this purple liner from Urban Decay called Psychedelic Sister. I think we could put a little bit of this like in the tight line maybe. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. little bit of this in the waterline. Very cool. Yep, very cool. And I think this is our look all complete. Pretty cool. Pretty fun. A little bit different. Definitely off my beaten path. I don't usually do cool tones, purples and blues together, so I think it's really fun. And it's kind of bright yet smoky and something kind of spooky about it. I dig it. I dig it, and the performance of these eyeshadows was pretty phenomenal. So yeah, I will definitely be playing with this palette some more. I'm very impressed with the formula. I mean, very easy to use. Even the darkest blue was easy to work with, which is kind of rare for a dark, very pigmented blue like that. The pigmentation in here, insane. Absolutely insane. The metallics are like glowing molten metal, which is awesome. And yeah, just again, very easy to use. So I look forward to creating more and more with this palette. I cannot wait to get into the greens. You know I can't wait to get into those greens. Dude, this palette is a home run for me. Love it. Love the theme, love the color story, love the formulations. So everything here is a win. I look forward to creating more and more looks with this. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me and kind of a little overview of this palette. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you have it? Do you want to try it? What do you think? What colors do you want to see me dive into next? Let me know down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.